it's so scrutinizing.
It's really...
Or it's, I mean, like, personally, I do want to, I mean, ideally everybody who gets in film wants to do something above the line, just do like creative work in general, but I never saw myself as being an actor, or like I never wanted to act. Definitely want to learn how to act just to be able to, you know, like relate to actors if I'm directing or something, but I never personally wanted that. And then I saw like all these statistics of like, I don't know, only 0.7% of all writers in TV shows in Hollywood are Latino, and you know, you have to go through like all this scrutiny just because like most of them are white, and it's just like you just like there's so many like hurdles you have to come across, and this is the main reason why I want to talk about women in the industry, because Whitney Cummings, the female comic that I was telling you about that has the podcast that I was listening to, I mean, she's a producer and she writes, and she's like done network television shows, and she was talking about like the scrutiny that she has to face, and like in not like direct sexism, I would say, not like, oh, you're women, you know, you can't have a show, but it's she was talking about like the subtlety of it.
Oh yeah.
It was like the support for what she's doing, and the show, I can't remember the exact name of the show, I'm gonna have to look that up in a bit, but the show she was making, she got it picked up before like all the feminist movement got really big, and before like the Me Too movement started happening. And I mean, all of the negative reviews she was getting was all based on her appearance. It wasn't based on, by the way, the people who were criticizing it.
What does she look like?
I mean, she's a very pretty woman.
Well, no, is she like dark skinned? Does she have like natural
hair? No.
Like...
I'm pretty sure she's half Asian. I could be mistaken. But she looks fairly white, to be completely honest. It's what she looks like.
Okay.
And
on her appearance,
she made
she's like a white woman.
Two Broke Girls. That's the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
I know exactly who that is.
She made Two Broke Girls, and the show that she was being scrutinized.
Oh, I watched that stand up. Yeah, I know who she is.
The show that was being scrutinized was, I think it was Whitney, I'm pretty sure it was Whitney.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that show happened like before everything got really popular, and like, I mean, main social media, not social media, it's like it just became more common to like support women more openly, and like if you didn't, it was seen bad, as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, she was saying like the critics, like film critics or TV critics that normally, you know, judge stuff, or like if it was a man doing that show, and if it was like called like Brian, and like this dude named Brian had the show, it would be based on, you know, the merit of the production, the writing, the stuff like that. But because she made the show and she was a woman, and it was made in 2013 or 2011 to 2013, it was all based on her appearance. Yeah. All these reviewers were like, you know, she's not pretty enough, this and that, and it was just so negative and like toxic.
So odd. Yeah, no one talks about Lil Dicky's appearance in Dave, so.
I mean,
well, it is 2020, but no one does. That is unfortunate. You know, I will say, like, I don't really work on set that much, but I don't think anyone's directly being rude, but there's a lot of like, let me like explain this to you just so that like I understand that you get it. And I'm like, yes, I get it. And it's like, there's a lot of like, let me just make sure you understand like exactly what's being said.
I mean, from your personal experience, do you feel like you get that from like being a novice, or like just like being new to the industry? Do you feel like you get like,
no.
Do you get like an extra layer of that just because like they see like
No. I think there's a difference between like, let me tell you, like, let me show you the ropes of how to do something. That I understand. Like, I walk on set. It's like, you don't know what you're doing. Let me tell you what you're doing. Yeah, I think I had someone come up to me, doing, what was I doing? NCIS or something, maybe? I don't know. I did like NCIS for 3 days or something like that.
You did PA work?
I was like working with locations.
Okay.
Like not directly, but I hung out with locations, and locations people are great, but someone's still my friend from locations. So, but I think I had someone come up to me, and I don't have a like a walkie or anything because I wasn't
Yeah.
on the team. Like I wasn't hired from by NCIS. Like John asked me to
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so I went on and I was doing whatever, and I don't really have to do anything. You just like circle and you don't do anything unless someone tells you to do something. So yeah, you don't have anything to do. But I've had people, like I had someone just come up to me and they were like, "Yeah, like why don't you have, like a walkie?" And I was like, "Oh no, like I work, through Loyola with that." And then they were just like, "Oh, okay. Well, like you need to like go." And I was like, "No, no, no, like I was told to like be here." And then they were like, "Oh, like are you sure?" And I was just like, "Why is there all of this like questioning happening?"
Yeah.
um
You
there's a lot of just like I don't know. It was just a certain tone too. So, when someone's just talking to you versus when someone's talking to you like this, it's like, okay, wait.
Yeah, I mean, there's a subtlety in condescension.
There's like a subtle condescent. So it's just kind of like, that could have just been his demeanor, but it could have also just been like, why are you mansplaining what I'm here to do? Plus, you didn't hire me, so you don't know what my position is, and you can't tell me what I do or don't do here. So,
I mean, can you sort of explain what you were doing, or at least the process for the people who don't exactly know what locations does?
oh, so what locations finds the location, and then they stay on site. Um, so like I don't know if like a vent is making too much noise or something, they'll go check out the vent and then go contact someone to like fix the vent or whatever, or they'll be like, "Hey, if there's a problem on the location with the physical location, then location gets called." Like, "Oh, like the room we put makeup in is way too small. Locations, can you like find another room for them to go to?" And locations does that sort of thing. So we just kind of stay on site and just oversee it. So you don't really have to do anything, but you do kind of work with every single department because everyone is on the location.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's sort of overseeing, making sure that
Yeah.
everything, is up
Yeah.
to par in that way.
Yeah, and you're usually like one of the more earlier people to show up on site when you go to work and you leave late. So I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, there's been that, and then I think there's been like a couple of times where like I felt like I wasn't being listened to, and I was just like, I don't.
You were telling me you had that experience with that actor. I'm not gonna say his name, but you had an experience with an actor, and I felt like from what you were telling me, it sounded very subtly sexist. Honestly, just because of how he was treating you.
Yeah, just
Do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, I know
Okay.
exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, just making sure.
Still
On the same
upset.
page.
We'll never watch his movies again. But yeah, no. Yeah, there's just like subtle things. It's just I don't know. I think sometimes men feel like, women don't have as much authority or women don't belong there, or if you're a person of color, then probably even more so. So I think there's like a strict hierarchy. Like it's like we're not gonna listen to women, period. But like if it's a white woman, we're more likely to listen. And if it's like a lighter skinned woman, we're more likely. If it's a darker skin, it's just like there's a hierarchy there. So
But it's also, I don't feel like it's sort of like it's just so like entrenched like psychologically into, or like subconsciously into the industry, and how that like sort of like like a racial hierarchy, like
yeah, I mean, I
that
think it's
sort of
there
really
pretty
messed
much
up.
in every single component of life.
I mean,
wanna
true,
say. Yeah.
true. But it's